Alrighty, welcome back to my new video. I got like 14 minutes of record time, which is a little lower than usual, so I'll have to figure that out later. But sorry I haven't been posting much, still going through a bunch. But I thought I'd do an update of my room. It's right now not currently at its cleanest, I have to do that, but still, it's pretty nice. So I guess I'll start with the main attraction when everybody first walks into my room. The mixer setup of mine. This features a rare EWA NSX 220 with original speakers. When I got it, it had tape decks working, except it made clattering sounds and no fast forward or rewind, and the CD player didn't work. I fixed the tape decks when the belt chucked on one of the decks because of the fast forward rewind issue, and then took forever, but I fixed the CD player. And it works fully. It's a really rare unit. I was told the story behind it is when my social worker who gave it to me moved in, she actually had it in her basement. And it was filthy when it was found. Me and my friend cleaned it up because he was a clean freak. But, you know, it's one of my more prized units. It's right now hooked up to these speakers because these speakers I'm using on that deck. Then there is my main deck stuff here. I'll get to in a sec. But here is my thrift shop stereo. I found this for $4, $3, I want to say. At the thrifty shopper down the road. It came, I believe, from the church nearby, because I saw a stereo exactly like this at that church during a craft fair. And this one popped up at the stores later. It was missing the speakers, but I got it. I paid a few bucks for it, brought it home, because I didn't have a electronic head drive units yet. I only had the mechanical ones, like these push buttons. And so I thought it was awesome. And so I brought it home, plugged it in. CD changer wouldn't work right. It wouldn't even close fully. Something was jamming it. I suspected a CD slipped past the tray and got wedged in the back. And then the cassette decks didn't work. I pulled it apart to find out it was exactly what I called CD-wise, and I pulled the CD out and fixed the door up a bit. And there are some loading belts that slip here and there. But, you know, it still works. And CD everything. I bought a remote for it, and I put new belts on the cassette deck because one was missing and the other was melted. So that was the issue. The white flywheels are black because of the melted belt. There's some marks here from the melted belt, but it does work. And it is one of my more prized stereos also. It gets wicked loud, which is my favorite part. It's set to aux now because of my pride and joy of the cassette deck fleet. My only real cassette deck. This is a judging by the design on it, 1990s Sony model TCWR535 with Dolby BC NRHX Pro, which does work. Sometimes the take-up reels will spin the other way when you click stop because of the old melted belt still in the mechanism. But it does, as a matter of fact, function. Hold on. A little tape slack in this one. The doors are off of it because of that tape slack issue that I've been running it for. Yeah, it did it right there. I couldn't see it, but it does it here and there. Mainly does it on deck B, but, you know, it does do good sound recording. I believe it records in Dolby, and, you know, it's got AMS, which is awesome. Sometimes it won't work right, but, you know, it's a good unit. Below it, I got a Sony. This is my first thrift shop DVD player. This is a Sony, where's the model on this thing? Because I completely forgot about it. Okay, it doesn't, oh yeah, here we go, DVP S530D. This thing is a DVD, CD, video CD player. I used to have it up there when I first got it, and it was really cool, you know, listening to Doc and C's on it. It had great sound. The headphone jack was awesome. And for $8, it was, or for $9 technically, it was a pretty good find. Fully working. Sometimes it has the Sony eject issue where sometimes if you click the button it won't eject. But it's very rare. And it is now hooked up to, ironically, nothing. I need to get a master amp for this. But, you know, it works good still. Below it is my more favorite unit. I paid $6 or $7, no, $5 maybe, I don't remember. for this unit below it. This is a General Electric DVD player, SS3301P, I believe. That's probably wrong, but I believe it was a model similar to that. It's got variable speed, which is my favorite part on the player, and it's got mic ports. It says it was only DVD. It was that or an LG one that played DVD, video, CD, and all that. But I brought this one home and decided, why not? Let's see how cool it is. And when I first powered it on, it read a DVD. I was like, I wonder if it reads CDs. And it does, which is why I have it here. As you can see, it's got this cool little spindle display where it says DVD. Sometimes it makes hideous scratching noises to my disc. Probably scratches them. But it works good when it wants to. And so it's one of my more favorite units. Above it, all those, I got a Funai SV2000. This was the one that worked right from the start of that testing video I did of the two. Because it's got the paint chips here. That's how I noticed the difference between the two. It's not plugged in currently because I haven't had the time to, or the plugs and all that, and AV cables to set it all up properly. But it's going to be nice for editing, along with my Hitachi, which I might sell eventually, I don't know. This I bought at Retro Game Con for $25, and it was a good deal. I saved a few bucks there, because he wanted 30 for it, and I talked him down. I wanted the 20, I asked to offer 20, but 25 worked pretty good, and it was the only thing I really got on this was the Easy Cursor Guide add on it. Above it all is my Discman, because I used it to make mixtapes through my cassette adapter because it doesn't skip. And then I got my Fostex MR8 mixer, which I don't have hooked up much because, it's a lot more work, and I could just use my Dolby deck. So yeah, that's my main attraction. I got the first Walkman, of course, chilling right here. And then I got that Kmart tape recorder that I bought. The update on it is that I pulled it apart, found 2 broken solder joints that would explain why it had a hideous noise when I first plugged it in, but when I tapped it on the side and stuff, it disappeared. It's because it was arcing. And I put a new belt on it. The old one was actually better than I thought, but it had, corrosion on the belt from it sitting in this bad environment. And so it wasn't gripping the wheel. It was gripping the flywheel fine, it just wasn't gripping the take-up reel. And that's why it wasn't spinning, as it wasn't gripping it. And so I put the new belt on it and put it back together, plugged it in, and the motor wouldn't work. The motor worked when I got it. It's a one-wire motor, which is pretty cool, actually. It's like an old school, GM one-wire starter, almost. And the record button's falling off of it. But I also found out that one of the parts on the motherboard got really hot. I don't know what part it is. I was only able to feel the solder joint. And it was wicked hot. So I believe something is... there's a bad part on it. And the motor's also corroded, but it was working when I got it. And so it probably still works, but that part is probably fried. So I gotta fix this up eventually. And it's a pretty cool unit. It makes me think of my old desktop recorder. My first one, actually, was a Sankyo ST40. And this unit's pretty similar overall. It plucks at my heartstrings. It was $33 when new. I paid $5 for it. And, it's not a bad unit. It's very clean on the outside of it. But it needs a lot of little things. Hopefully I can get it working, though. I found a video of somebody who owned one, and these things have good sound. And so that's a big reason, and I want to use it for my IBM PC for programming. I could do the old Atari games on cassettes and stuff if I get the recorder level perfect. And then my bedside hasn't really changed much. I got my clock cassette player. I still wake up to tapes. And then got my remotes. And then I do have my sound rider over here. Pretty good unit overall. It's got good sound. I fixed the trigger. And then my Sony Sports Walkman, I have the lead on its brother Sports Walkman. This was found in an attic with 2 Sports Walkmans. Both AF59s. One had a broken volume knob, one had a broken tuner knob. My friend got the one with the broken tuning knob, which I traded for. And this is my first Sony Walkman, too. It's been with me for a few years now. And it needs its volume knob rebuilt because it broke. It actually currently works. I put batteries in. I fixed the broken flywheel and put a belt on it. And the brother of it has a broken volume knob, but it does work, radio and all. And I was offered it by who actually lives down the street from me. I knew him from my old bus. He owns it. He wanted $70 for it, or no, he wanted 80 when he offered it. And these things are worth $60. That's a lot. But I talked him down to 70, and we worked out a deal. I'm like $5 short because I bought the Kmart recorder, but at the end of the month I'm getting advanced. There's no rush, and he doesn't even have it's at his mom's house or something like that. So either way, it'll be a little while until I get it, but then I could use that as a donor for this. And, still keep the other one in working shape. And then, as you can see, I got a guitar. I've been learning to play that in my meantime. As you can see, though, it's broken. It wasn't when I got it, but it cracked and busted that off. So I was told I could get a new guitar. This was my mom's old one. And then my 545 still sits here, tall and proud. It's still my first double cassette and CD combo. It's still holding its love with me. It still works great. And then I got the Digitech recorder, the rare barn find recorder, as I call it. I got that PS2 Slim. I'm giving that to a friend when I see him. And then there's my IBM tower. I haven't used it in forever now at this point. Now, it should still work fine. I mean, last time I used it, it was working great. I just need to get a memory expansion for it and a couple other things. And then I got the PS1 and all my consoles over here. As you can see, this clock is still not set because of daylight savings. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. Every other clock is. Even my stereo system down there, I believe. And so, this unit, the DVD player acts up on here and there, but, it works. And I got the remote for it. I have a movies on it. I was just watching one the other day. And then I got my first VCR DVD combo, first VCR. It still works to this day. I use the DVD player on it a lot, too. My Xboxes, I still play the 360. It's very fun, actually. And then my Philips from the series Supernatural, from the Bloody Mary episode. This unit does work. I don't use the cassette often because the belts are needing to be broken in, and I just haven't gotten around to fully doing that. And the CD works great. I love the CD on it. That clock there came from my friend because his great-grandfather passed away, who was in World War II, and this was his clock radio at the time. I only knew it a bit because when I met him, I saw it in the background, and I was like, is that a General Electric with like a 5-band equalizer? Because I saw this in the background, and it looked like an equalizer. I thought that was sick. And my friend offered it to me because he said he was gonna put it to a thrift shop otherwise, and it was an old family piece, if anything. And I took it off of him, and it's really a great piece. It's a cute little clock. And it's everything. You don't have to, hold a set button to click the buttons to set it. It's, one touch. The radio works great. It's got a good volume. And it's proved itself really good for the time I've had it. And then I got some parts off the old Bose changer here I'm parting out. It's a pile of crap anyway. And I got tapes everywhere pretty much. I got a whole rack of tapes at school that I'm getting every day. And the last haul are these. I got all the UD2s. And I've gotten these ones. These are the highest ends of the bunch. There are SAT 100 Type 2s. There are there's one laser CX90, but it's just the case, it appears. A bunch of early, I should have a few over here. A handful of these early TDK SAT 90 cases, tapes from the 70s that are early Type 2s. And a bunch more really high-end tapes, and that's only rack 2 of 5. So, and there's